Harini. I hope all of you are staying safe and healthy. So, what is a conflict? How does it arise? Where all can it happen? A conflict can be as big as a war between two different nations, disputes between two different states, or it can be as small as a disagreement or a misunderstanding with your friend. Whatever be the scale of the conflict, being in a conflict in itself not a very likely or a feel good experience to be in, isn't it? But the truth is, just like the Thanos in the Marvel comics, even conflicts are inevitable. And that is why I believe the important aspect of leading a healthy and happy life is knowing how to deal and manage conflicts. Conflict management is nothing but the process by which you learn to deal and solve an issue where the positive results are prioritized and negative results are minimized. So in this video, we'll be watching the 5 primary conflict management styles and where and how to use them cleverly. Get into this video. If you're my new viewer and if it's the first time here, I'm Harini and I make videos on life, happiness, positivity and wellness. If this is a topic that you want to learn more about, then please go subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you stay updated whenever I post my next video. Thank you. Now let's get So before diving into the 5 conflict management styles, let us first understand the reason for these conflicts to arise. So conflicts basically arise because of difference of opinions, thoughts, perspectives and ideologies. And sometimes it can be because of blind hatred, vengeance or anger which is just carried and passed on through generations. Whatever be it, the reason being in a conflict, as I said, is a very unpleasant and a tricky situation to be in. And in those times, whenever you try to come up with quick and immediate solutions, sometimes those problems or issues might not be sorted properly and there are high chances for them to resurface down the lane. Being in a tough spot once in a while is in itself so hard for us, right? Imagine being put in that same tough spot again and again for the same reason. It is quite frustrating and can kill your happiness at a deeper level. So this is when these 5 conflict management styles come into play because they act as guidelines which kind of tell you or teach you the right tactic to use at that particular situation. So all these tactics and the styles that we'll be discussing in the video are quite helpful. A few are weaker compared to the rest and there are also some of them which you should not heavily rely upon. All these I will be discussing in detail whenever I'm addressing that particular style. First style is accommodating. This is a style wherein you put the other person's wants and needs above yours. You allow them to win and you get their way. A classic example for this is a sibling squabble. In a sibling squabble, the elder sibling is always advised to adjust and accommodate with the younger sibling because most of the times the sibling squabble does not make any sense and it is not worth prolonging. So this tactic can be best used whenever you want to get over an issue as quickly as possible because you have other important matters to focus on. But the biggest con of this particular tactic is the one person who continues to accommodate, right? In a longer run, he might face some resentment because he always ends up in the losing side. So he has to leave that particular situation unhappy and not very satisfied. So other than that, this strategy cannot be relied upon heavily. It can be only used for solving small and petty issues. The second style is avoiding. Avoiding is a style wherein you try to avoid the problem. You keep yourself away from things or situations that can cause conflict and also you try your best to evade away from that particular situation. This can help largely when you have to give a cooling space or you want the two parties to cool down and that particular time avoiding can be the right strategy. A typical example for this is there are two strangers due to bad mood or some exchange of words, they start fighting and yelling at each other in the middle of the road which causes a commotion or traffic jam or something that is causing disturbance to the public. You would have immediately observed that the people in the crowd just come together to put both the parties away from each other. The basic reason is they are trying to give those two parties a cooled down space so that they kind of reflect upon themselves and there are chances that they can change their stance in that particular conflict. That is why they push those two people out. So this strategy is basically used whenever you want to take that space out from that situation which is causing so much heat, and you get a chance to even rediscover and reflect on your own perspective. And there are also some issues which can be solved internally without blowing it up into a big issue. But if you continue to use avoiding as a substitute for proper problem resolution, this might lead to conflicts getting built up even stronger, and it might come and attack you in a way that you can never avoid that situation. And that is why this technique is also not advised to be used frequently. Style is compromise. Compromise is a style wherein both the parties concede some of their needs and wants so that they come to a common ground and the solution is achieved at a faster rate. A typical example for this is a group or a team of people working towards a project. When there are two parties in the same team who have contrasting ideas, it is very difficult for the team to move forward, right? In those cases, they make sure that they come to a common ground as quickly as possible so that they get started with the particular project. This is one of the best ways wherein at the end of the day both the parties will go out with a better understanding of both their thoughts, and also in the longer run this can set a stage for collaboration. But the biggest con of this is the one party which compromises, right? They might again face some resentment, and if you keep asking them to compromise again and again or very frequently, they might feel that their goodwill is being exploited, and they might also hesitate to compromise in the future. This style is always advised to be used whenever you're in a time crunch and whenever you feel that issue has to be resolved quickly so that you all can move towards something better and brighter. Fourth style is competing. Competing is a style which is totally opposite to compromise, wherein one party stands very firmly with his or own thoughts and beliefs and does not want to compromise even a bit for the other party. An example for this is a teacher's approach towards a set of student bullies. Here, the teacher's main goal is that he does not want the student's behavior to aggravate, so he tries his level best to take full authority of that situation. This can be very, very helpful whenever you want to take an absolute control of that situation, whenever that particular situation is going out of your hands. But if the same teacher uses this approach towards a set of well-behaved students, there it becomes a problem because the students will not be able to strike a bond with this teacher because there is always a sense of fear in their heads, and they simply can't get over it to have and be open with a particular teacher. So this particular strategy should not be heavily relied upon for a longer run. It can be only used for timely things whenever you want to reduce the heat of the moment. The final style is collaboration. Collaboration is one of the ideal ways of problem solving and is often attributed as the golden rule of conflict resolution. It is basically when two parties come together, talk, negotiate, and walk through the problem to arrive at a common solution. This is like a win-win situation for both the parties because both their wants and needs are being considered and everyone leaves happy and satisfied from that particular situation. And that is why this is slightly better than the compromise, because compromise is more like a lose-lose situation because both of them has to sacrifice a lot of things in order to come to that common ground. So this collaboration is very, very helpful whenever you want to preserve that particular relationship with the opposite party, or you feel that the solution that you're going to arrive at is going to make a better and a bigger difference in the longer run. The only con for this is it involves a lot of time, it consumes a lot of effort, and it takes a while to arrive at solutions, and you might not also arrive at solutions. That is the only risk factor here. Other than that, this is like the ideal way, as I said before. This is the ideal way of problem solving because everybody who is a part of the conflict goes with something in their hand. So we are done. But you might ask me, Why on earth do we have so many different conflict management styles? Because whichever style I pick or use, it's going to give me a solution, right? So why did we discuss about the pros and cons of every style in detail? Yes, you are right. Whichever style you pick, you're obviously going to arrive at a solution. But remember, that solution is going to have a lasting impact or an effect on your moral productivity and overall happiness. That is why here the solution does not matter. The way in through which you arrive at the solution has the higher weightage. And that is why skilled conflict management is very, very important, because it reduces the lasting impact of that solution in your happiness and life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and it was my pleasure talking to you through this video. I hope and continue to entertain you with lot of amazing and interesting videos in the future. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you feel this message should be shared with a lot of people, please go ahead and share this video, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you stay updated about my upcoming videos. Also, please do comment about your thoughts on this topic. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye-bye.